Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Hi, IKYA. I have a question to you about how to approach life as a spiritual practice. When I try practice what you teach, I noticed that there's a big difference between traditions and religions and what you teach. Normally, we relate to beliefs and rules, and it's about doing the right things and also having practices that can be measured. And by that, knowing where we are at. My experience studying with you is that all of that dissolves, that there's no rules. So, my question to you is how do we then practice? How do we then do this? And how do we then approach life as a spiritual practice? Thank you.
One of the greatest missing links in traditional spirituality and religion comes from the fact that it's man-made. There are cultural expressions and understandings of what spirituality means. And for people to relate to it in a horizontal way, which is how we function as humans, how our mind works, we like rules, we like things that can be measured. And we like the idea that if I do this, then I will achieve that. We like predictability. So in a way, we create the story that we own the rules and therefore we own God. And by doing this, it will guarantee that I will get my big prize. Why else would I do it? So the approach, even in spiritual traditions, are extremely hierarchical and therefore power-based. And where we're at as humans today, and in our collective awakening, means that we can understand that spiritual consciousness is something else entirely. It is not something you, as an individual, as a person, as culture, as tradition, can achieve. It is in fact the opposite. It's peeling away everything. Peeling away your culture, peeling away your belief systems, peeling away your practices, peeling away everything that we can identify as constructs that enables you to control your experiences and control how you interpret reality. Because as long as you have ways to control it or define it, it will be limited to your own subjective consciousness. It's only when we let go of all of that, or have no way to control, no way to define, no way to determine anything, where it's simply about us surrendering. As long as humans have the control, and where we can control how we determine everything. We control the rules, we control how we perceive our own experiences. We're still trapped inside our own minds. We will not be in oneness. So we'll have to peel away all of that until there is nothing to hold on to, nothing to understand, nothing to control. Because why would we need to control anything if it wasn't for getting a place in some sort of hierarchy? I'm in control, therefore I am this person, or I am this level of consciousness, according to your own storytelling, which then will be human. And we create all these hierarchies, all these mystical rules, and they're all made up. How to move beyond that? And this is the big shift, because the entire human spirituality, from the most primitive religion to modern spirituality, it still has the same basic framework. And therefore, it's still within human mind. Now, anyone who has been on a spiritual path for a long time reaches a point where they understand they have to let go of absolutely everything. And then what? That is not the end. It represents the true beginning. And the beginning of what? I've explained many times that there are two major approaches to our spiritual path. It's from resistance, which is living our life through karma, which means always adapting, always letting life change first, and then us reacting, being triggered, fighting it, and then eventually giving in, which means that then we adjust. This is what evolution is. The change comes when we understand that, oh, life is actually trying to unfold me. Everything that happens only happens for one reason, and that is to assist me in my own unfoldment. So instead of fighting it, instead of making up all these stories, we listen and we'll look for what is the potential, what is life trying to show me, what is life trying to bring me into. And we don't resist, we embrace. And we focus on that. Every step of the way means that we grow into a higher level of understanding. We grow into being us even more. We are peeling away what is not so that what is already can unfold and become awareness in us. And why would we resist peeling away our own illusions? So we shift that mindset. But to do that, we need to be in an awareness that is actual, not belief-based, not rule-based, not hierarchy-based. It has to be actual. So, what I teach focuses on what happens after transcendence. Because we need both. We need both that journey of letting go and then moving into higher consciousness. But we also need to understand, I need to incarnate that higher consciousness, that insight, that realization. Because then it's about testing out our assumption, testing out, have I learned? What is the difference between my previous consciousness and this one? And try to live it. And it's at that point we understand that everything in life is spiritual. Everything in life is the essence. And the dialogue changes. So it will no longer have rules about what is pure, what's impure, what's, good or bad, this or that, because you realize, oh, it's simply colors, simply different angles. So I can study myself, I can study life. And everything will reflect my own level of consciousness, and I will gravitate towards anything and any type of manifestation that represents where I am at in myself this exact moment. And that will be the dialogue. So you study not based on rules, but based on actual conversation, actual interaction, actual learning. And this is how we set ourselves free spiritually. Learning that dialogue. But it means we have to let go of all rules. All of them. All definitions. Seeing different manifestations as different colors. If you have a huge box of different colors, you wouldn't define some of them as good or bad. They're simply different colors, different shades. And you need all of them. So it's finding the right color for the right emotions, the right state, the right expression. And that's what you're looking for. And also vice versa. So when life is showing you a particular color, It is then showing you something about, oh, this is where I'm at right now. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. And then you can look at, oh, is this productive? Is this something that will bring me growth and healing? Is this something that will bring growth and healing to life around me? Or should I choose a different one? It builds awareness directly, not based on faith, based on actual interaction, actual dialogue. And then you will discover that a lot of the things that you, in your previous lifetimes, was told was impure or bad or terrible can be wonderful. It comes down to your own intention in the moment and how you are present and how you're present in your own dialogue with life. So you can do anything. It will still just be the expression of you. Life has absolutely no stories about what is good or bad. That belongs to human culture. Sometimes, to explore different parts of ourselves, we have to go into the spaces in our minds and emotions and in life that we have locked off. Areas that we have defined as impure and therefore suppressed. We have all colors. We need to set all of them free and learn how absolutely everything we are can be beautiful and productive and promote healing. Judging ourselves, blocking ourselves is the opposite of healing. So yes, when you go through this big shift, everything changes. You have to reevaluate all your stories, all your assumptions, all your definitions, all your beliefs, and recognize also how much religious thinking and religious feeling we have, even when we might identify as a free, spiritual being walking our own path. It's still there. And we have to challenge it also by doing the things we have defined as non-spiritual. Because to me, everything is spiritual. And therefore, everything is not spiritual. It's just life. It is. And the rest is where we are at in our own consciousness. So, growing out of belief, growing out of hierarchy, means that you experience a complete sense of freedom, and a complete sense of responsibility, and a complete sense of opportunity and creativity. You understand that you are your own path. You are exploring yourself. You're exploring life. So it comes down to this. There are only three things in existence: you, life, and the dialogue.